Alright, so here we got Algebra 1, Unit 1, Lesson 4. Okay, so we're going to go through some of these notes here, starting again with some of the vocabulary, okay? So distributive property. So let's go through that. So what's the definition of distributive property? So when we're going to multiply a term, okay, by all terms within a grouping symbol. Okay, so what's an example of that? Let's say I've got 4, parenthesis, x minus 3. So the 4 is outside the grouping symbol, the x minus 3 is inside. So I'm going to multiply that 4 to both of them. So 4 times x, 4x. 4 times negative 3, negative 12. So that's what the distributive property is going to mean there. Now if I had 3 terms here, I'd multiply the 4 in 3 times, or however many terms there are. Okay? Alright, so just to go back to that, a term, parts of an expression separated by addition and subtraction. So these are all different terms. 5x plus 3, negative 4y, negative 2, and plus x. They're just different pieces of that expression. Okay, a constant, a term that does not have a variable. So to go back to that same example, the 3 and the negative 2, those are constants. They have no variable with it. Okay, what's a coefficient? So it's the number in front of the variable that says how many of there are. So in other words, it's like what's multiplied by the variable. So when I see 5x, the 5 is the coefficient. When I see negative 4y, the negative 4 is the coefficient. If I just saw this, x, then it's implied to have a 1 as the coefficient. Okay, and then like terms. So terms of the same variable part. So we kind of hit on this last time, but just to do it even further, say I've got 5x. So I want a like term with 5x. I got same variable, same exponent. Again, if I don't see an exponent there, that means it's implied to be a 1. So I'm going to have 4x, for instance. Negative 4y and 2y. 6ab squared and 3ab squared. Again, would you have to have those? Not necessarily in terms of the coefficient, but you do in terms of the variable and the exponent. Okay, let's go forward from there. So here's an example where it's kind of showing you what's going on. You're asked to combine like terms here. 9d plus 7c minus 4d minus 2c. So notice how the terms that have a d are circled in a red, and the terms that have a c are in that box, that rectangle that's in purple. That tells me that's what I'm combining, okay? So now I'm going to do 9d minus 4d. Well, that's 5d. Remember, when we add and subtract the coefficient, the variable stays the same. Now I've got positive 7c minus 2c. Well, 7 minus 2 is 5, so I get 5d plus 5c. That is my answer. I can't do more there because they have different variables. Okay, so now from here, let's just go through some additional examples. Okay, so here it says the combined like terms, so write the simplified form. 8x squared plus 2x squared. So 8 plus 2 is 10. And the variable and the exponent stay the same. So I'm going to get 10x squared. Okay? Okay, over here I've got 5x minus 3 minus x plus 6y plus 4. So what I'm going to do here is everything that has the same variable I'm going to need to combine. So I'm going to highlight and underline with color coding. So 5x minus x. Remember, if there's no number there, it's like a 1. So 5 minus 1 is 4x. Okay, now I'm going to look for my y value. Well, I only see one y, so there's nothing else with this 6y to combine with. So I'm just going to write it down, plus 6y. Okay, so then lastly, I see the negative 3 plus 4. Negative 3 plus 4 is 1, and that would be my answer. Because the x and the y and just that integer, they don't have the same variables, they can't combine. So that's all I would have there. Okay, so now going from here, let's just show that we know how to do distributive properties. So here I see a 3. Parentheses the x plus 8, so I'm going to multiply that in. So 3 times x, 3x. 3 times 8, 24. So that's what we're looking for there, okay? So again, multiplying that in. Now in this case, it looks different, but the 3 is going to divide these terms. Now not just the 6x, not just the 15, but both of them. Okay, so 6x divided by 3 is going to give us 2x, and then positive 15 divided by 3 is going to give us 5. So that's what that should look like, 2x plus 5. Okay, so now let's put those things together. We're going to combine like terms and use the distributive property. Okay, so I'm going to multiply the 4 in here first. 4 times m is 4m. 4 times negative 7 is negative 28. I'm going to bring that 7m down. Okay, so now from here I need to combine my like terms. Well, I see the 4m plus 7m, so we do 11m. Now the negative 28, there's no other constant, so I'm just going to have to write down the negative 28 and we're done. Okay, let's do our next one here. So I see 3 minus 2, and then in parentheses, negative 10n plus 6. We need to follow order of operations, so we can't combine like terms on the inside because they don't have the same variable. The next thing we need to do is multiply that negative n. Don't subtract these, that doesn't follow order operations. So the 3 is just basically getting moved down. Now I'm going to multiply the negative 2n. So negative 2 times negative 10 is 20, and then I bring my n down, and then negative 2 times 6 is negative 12. So I see 20n, 3 minus 12 is negative 9. So there we go, 20n minus 9. So that's what we should have there, okay? All right, from here it says identify the expressions that require using the distributive property to simplify. Only simplify those expressions. Okay, so I don't see anything to do here with multiply, divide, anything like that, so there's nothing to do. Here, again, can I do something here? Yes, I could combine those like terms, but it didn't ask me to because it doesn't have distributive. Okay, so I'm going to distribute the 6 here. 6 times 2 is 12x. 6 times negative 4 is negative 24 plus 3. I'm going to combine those like terms. So I get 12x minus 21. Okay, here technically 7 times x for 7x minus 5. And then here I'm going to divide the 4. So 24 divided by 4 is 6x, and negative 8 divided by 4 is negative 2. So there you go. I went ahead and did the stuff that required me to multiply, divide there, okay, for the distributive. All right. So then from here, you want to continue working. You want to do this distributive property practice, and then you want to do our next set of practice after that. Check with the key.